Okay, students, so we have talked about the three components which go into the making of the laser. One is the active medium, which could be liquid, gas, or solid medium. Okay, then the next number two is the pumping source. So, right now we will be discussing in this video about the pumping source. So, first you collect your active medium, then you use a pumping source. Okay, so what is a pumping source basically? Well, the pumping, as you must have understood by now, that the important thing that you need to achieve to get a sustained lasing action of a very high intensity is population inversion. Now, in order to get a state of population inversion between two energy levels, you need a pumping source. So pumping source is basically needed to achieve population inversion between two energy levels. So you are trying to achieve population inversion between two energy levels. All right. So that is one of the important characteristic feature. This mechanism of achieving population inversion, we call it pumping. All right. So what is pumping? The mechanism of achieving population inversion. All right. So there are various modes of achieving population inversion. What is the common mode that we have learnt of? Number one, the common mode of achieving population inversion, what is it? It is excitation with the help of photons. So you use a flashlight, isn't it? We use a flashlight and then we flash it on an active medium. The energies of the photons emitted by the flashlight, they are absorbed by the material, and then it absorbing the energy, it goes to the higher lying level, that is stimulated absorption. All right. So, well, and then that particular atom which is excited to the higher lying level stays in that level to be emitted again, either by spontaneous emission or stimulated emission. So this method is called optical pumping. So we call this, actually this is optical pumping. So optical pumping we have studied, we have gone through while we were discussing the lasing actions, when we were talking about the properties of laser, isn't it? We call this optical pumping. Now, the materials which have very broad absorption bands, which can absorb sufficient amount of energy from the emission spectra of flash lamp, can actually undertake this kind of pumping. It is not, now do not think that this is a very common procedure, that you use a flash lamp and the material, the active medium, will absorb the energy and it will go to the higher lying level. No, it should have a very broad, so one of the basic property is the material should have a broad absorption spectra. Okay, a broad absorption band. Okay, so that it can absorb a sufficient amount of energy from the emission spectra. Okay, then only this can be achieved. All right. Next method of pumping that takes place. All right. The next pumping mechanism is excitation by, so this you will see occurring in ruby laser. So ruby laser, when you will be reading, you just keep in your mind that the material that you are using over there is very important, because it has a good absorption band for absorption of light within that spectrum which is being given. It can absorb sufficient amount of energy from the emission spectra of your flash lamp. It has that, material has that property, and this goes into the making of the ruby laser. The next is the excitation by electrons. Now how do we excite by electrons? Let's see. Excitation by electrons. How do we excite by electrons? Well, here electrical pumping is used. In this method of excitation of electrons, we use this technique of electrical pumping. What is electrical pumping? This is used in some kind of gas lasers, okay. So what is electrical pumping? For example, in argon laser, okay. Here electrons are released from the atoms by applying a very high voltage in an electric discharge tube, okay. Now these electrons are allowed to pass through a gas, and well, when they are accelerated with very high velocities due to the strong electric field inside the discharge tube, then they collide with neutral gas atoms. So a fraction of these atoms due to this collision gets excited and goes to the higher lying state. Okay, so an inelastic collision takes place. So due to inelastic collision, electrons are excited to higher lying level. Atoms are excited to higher lying levels due to collision with high energy electrons, okay, to higher lying levels. All right, so what happens? You have, say, an atom M which is collided by an electron which is actually a very fast moving electron, okay. So it is an electron of very high excitation, high energy, okay, and then it transfers this energy to the atom to take this atom to the higher lying state, and then this electron becomes relatively slow. All right, so this principle we apply in argon laser. All right, so if you do, I believe you have ruby laser and helium neon laser in your syllabus. So just remember, such principles are applied in argon laser. Number 3, well, you have inelastic collision between atoms. Inelastic collision between atoms. This is the third procedure of optical pumping. What happens in this method? This is again a method of electrical pumping. Here also electrical pumping is taking place. In this method also electrical pumping is taking place. Well, what does it do over here? It actually transfers the energy between colliding atoms of two kinds of gas mixture. This is very important because you will see it in the laser that you have to study, in the helium neon laser. What happens? You have a gas mixture. A gas mixture is used, say A and B, of which A has a metastable state, a state in between the ground state and the excited state, which is relatively more stable than the higher lying excited state. Okay, so this atom has a metastable state. So how do you draw a metastable state? You see, you have a ground state and an excited state. So E1, E3, and you have a metastable state E2, which you call metastable state. Okay, so this is called metastable state. All right, so you see over here what happens of the two gas mixtures. Suppose say A has a metastable state, so high energy electrons can, this is lower lying, so it can be easily excited to the metastable state over here in between the other two states. So once A comes to this state, what happens? It interacts with B and it gives energy to this atom to go to the higher excited state. Okay, so how will you write down your equations over here? So here, therefore, A plus E fast, again E fast you are using over here, it goes to A star, which is metastable. A star is metastable, okay, plus E slow, plus E slow. After that, well, this A star interacts with B in the metastable state to give B star and A. So B goes to the metastable state. Now since the gaseous substance, so here you have at least one metastable state to excite the atom to this state. The example over here is helium neon laser. So when you will read helium neon laser, you will come across this situation. Now because a gaseous substance have very narrow absorption band, so you just can't do pumping using flash lamp. That is why in most of the cases of gas laser, population inversion is achieved by this kind of electrical discharge between two atoms, one of which can lie in a metastable state. Is that okay? Next technique is of pumping is, well, we have excitation by chemical methods. So these are the few other techniques. Number 4, we have excitation by chemical methods. Okay, what is the meaning of excitation by chemical methods? Well, here, well, two gas, an atom of a molecule is actually, you see, if you have say hydrogen and fluorine together, then you get hydrogen fluoride. Okay, so an atom of a molecule which is a product of a chemical reaction is produced in an excited state. So this is produced in an excited state. Okay, so the number of such excited atom or molecule may be considerably greater to produce population inversion. So this we see in carbon dioxide laser. This principle we apply in carbon dioxide laser. Okay, so, and well, the fifth method is thermal pumping. What is thermal pumping? We can heat a substance and pump the corresponding level atoms to the higher lying level. Okay, so by heating, just by heating you can achieve, you can pump and achieve population inversion. And the sixth method is molecular dissociation. Molecular dissociation. What is it? What does the method tell you? Well, here basically an excited atom will collide with a molecule. The molecule will get dissociated, well, and the dissociated molecule will then go to the excited state to produce population inversion. For example, if this happens in neon laser, okay, what you see, neon is in an excited state. So if you have neon star, it is in an excited state, it collides with an oxygen atom like this, oxygen molecule. What you get over here is it gives up its energy such that oxygen goes to the excited state and breaks up in this manner. So this happens in a semiconductor laser, and also you can achieve this through injection current. Okay, that means injection, by direct injection you try to pump atoms to the higher lying level. All right, so these are all the pumping mechanisms that we use to produce various lasing action. Okay, so let's stop over here.